Hey everybody, it's Christina Holloway here. Today we're going to talk about imposter syndrome. First, what is imposter syndrome? It's not a pleasant experience, something that many people go through, and today we're going to unpack it. In what situation might you find yourself having these feelings? Identifying what the trigger might be, and then figuring out how to move past those feelings so that you can move forward and find success in whatever area where you're struggling. What is imposter syndrome? So, typically, this means that you feel like you have a job that's so easy you can't believe that you actually have it, and you dismiss the value of this position or this job or this level of expertise as just being frivolous, or I got lucky to get this job, or people are going to figure out that this is so easy, why are they paying me for it? For me, my experience, and we all have these experiences, but for me, it was pretty pervasive. I had it for a number of years. I got hired to work as a consultant for a marketing department, and they hired me to do project management. I happened to have experience in it from a previous assignment. So coming in and just implementing a full project management plan, putting in a whole protocol and understanding what it means to schedule resources, figure out a work plan, understand budgeting, understand high performance teams, rearranging people so that they're more satisfied with their work. All of that to me seemed second nature. It seemed easy for me to do. It was just organizing the chaos around me with other departments. I spent years telling myself, they can't possibly be serious paying me to do this type of work. This is simple work. This is something that anybody can do. And it wasn't really the case. So how did I get past it? How did I move forward? How did I deal with exactly those feelings? Well, the first thing we have to do is understand that we don't all have the same strengths. So for me, while it was easy, many times the people in the department where I worked told me, I admire that you're able to do this work. This isn't something that would come easily to me. I'm just going to offload it and give it to you because this isn't something that I can be successful at. And when I would dismiss it and think to myself, well, it can't be that hard, the process for moving past it for me had to do with coming to terms with the fact that my strengths were different than their strengths, and that what made me successful was different than what made them successful. So understanding those differences helped me to just get a little bit further past exactly what it means to feel like I shouldn't be there. So in these terms, this is exactly what we're talking about here. I'm just going to look at my notes because I want to make sure I stay in this framework. So what is the situation? So many times when it comes to imposter syndrome, we may feel it, it may spike up, specifically like I was saying, like for me, I ended up in a department that was very different and I had a skill set that they didn't have. And for me, it came easy, but for them, it was difficult. You may also find that you get promoted. And it may be you're surprised you were promoted. How did they promote me? What did they see in me that I don't understand? They're going to find out they promoted the wrong person. Maybe you were transferred, or you decided you wanted to get transferred into a completely different field. I want to experiment with having a completely different experience, and now I'm here. The transfer went through, and here I am. All the people around me have other skills, and I'm not so sure that I belong here. Maybe it's just starting a new business. I've never started a business before. I don't really know what I'm doing. Nobody's going to buy from me if they know that I'm new to being a business owner, or they know I'm new to running a business. So what we have to do is sort of come to terms with a really radical shift that may have happened in our lives, and then accept it. You're in this new space, so you need to get used to it. You need to figure out a way forward. So where do you, the question becomes, where do you feel the most vulnerable? So when we're talking about imposter syndrome, it tends to spike up when we feel we're in unknown circumstances or unknown situation. We're feeling vulnerable and exposed. They're going to find me out, or they're going to ask me a question where I don't have the answer, or they're going to give me an assignment for a big project and it's going to fail. And it's all in our head. These are expectations that we've created. These are our insecurities popping up and telling us Who do you think you are? You're not going to be able to do this. So again, what we want to do is sit down, understand why we're having these feelings, understand where we're feeling vulnerable, and then ask ourselves, well, what is it going to take for me to calm down to actually what's happening in the present moment? So a little bit of mindfulness is really important here. And then ask ourselves, what can you do to fix it? I can't read my own notes. What can you do to fix it? So as we move forward and as we understand exactly where we are, so let's review. I've been promoted. I'm now in a vulnerable space where they're either asking me to lead a large group of people. I just landed a really big client where a lot of money is on the line. I'm not working very well in a stressful situation, and everything seems to be stressful all the time now. So when we're feeling vulnerable, we tend to think everything is amplified. So in order to fix it, we have to take a step back and ask ourselves, if I'm not doing well in stressful situations, where can I create boundaries around too much overstimulation? So I may have been promoted and given 6 projects and told to hit the ground running. And if it's overwhelm, then I need to take a step back and then ask myself, who is around me that can help me? Who can mentor me a little bit in this situation? And where can I talk to somebody who's above me or next to me to explain to me, this is how you're going to move forward here. And if I'm feeling vulnerable, I need to be able to express that. So the last part of this is that you're going to be authentic, you're going to be transparent, and you're going to find your own voice. This helps immensely in being able to step away from this imposter syndrome mindset into saying and admitting, I'm new, I'm young, I'm green, I'm a brand new entrepreneur business owner. These things are unfamiliar. I'm in unfamiliar territory here. And I need to build a support network around me. Do I have colleagues who are cheering me on, who believe in me? Do I have people that I've hired or interns that are working with me? And are they giving me a little bit of feedback saying, you're doing great, or try to step here where there's a little bit more effort. We need you to focus more here. To tell people, look, sometimes this can be overwhelming. I'm running into strange or uncharted waters, and I need a little bit of guidance. Many times we can internalize it and step inside our own head and just tell ourselves, this isn't going to work. These people don't believe in me. I can't understand why they keep giving me more assignments. So what we really need to do is be able to confirm some of the words that we're saying to ourselves, in the sense of actually asking the client, is there anywhere where you feel concerned about these deliverables? Asking our boss, are you sure 6 assignments is really great? I'd like to get more feedback on exactly what your expectations are. So we're asking questions to validate exactly how we're feeling. Is this appropriate? So, and then the last part is really asking the questions to give you the answers, because we're filling in the blank spaces with our own thoughts that could be destructive. So why did you hire me? You may actually ask a person, they may tell you, your boss, while you're sitting down and having a conversation or checking in and doing a touch base, why exactly did you hire me? What strengths did you see in me? And sometimes there may be a person who you may think, oh, these are basic questions, I shouldn't be asking them that. But in reality, having really obvious conversations can help calm you down. What are your expectations? What actually do you expect me to do with these 6 projects? Come in all of them at the top? If I'm a perfectionist, I'm going to try to get all 6 of them done at the same time and do it better than anybody else has ever done. What is that going to do for me? Well, I'm going to try to prove myself. 2, I'm going to overwhelm myself. And 3, I'm going to be very critical if even one of them comes in a little bit lower. So having a conversation with the people around you and saying, what are your expectations? Even with a client, I'm happy to work on this type of project. I know there's a lot of money riding on this. What are your expectations here? I'd like to make sure we can at least meet and exceed expectations and not just skate through. So always anchor your conversations. Make sure you're asking open-ended questions. Make sure you're getting more information and filling in the blanks the best you can. And for me, just wrapping up a little bit because this is a pretty quick video. For me, imposter syndrome, actually, I had it for a long time. I was on an assignment for 8 years, and for 8 years I was doing basic work. For me, thought it was basic, and I kept getting more and more work. I kept getting higher and higher assignments. They kept asking for my opinion and my expertise, and for a very long time, I discounted it as they can't be serious, that they need help. And many times I thought, oh, they're just playing along. They're just going along with the narrative that, oh, we just need her here. She's just picking up the slack. I felt for a long time that I was doing work that nobody else wanted to do, and it was less about hiring me to do work that I was best suited to do. So this is where we really want to make sure we do this exercise, is to make sure that the imposter syndrome can be temporary. Oh, I'm in a new environment, or I just got a new client, which is what happened to me. I got a new client. They gave me tons of authority. They gave me tons of room to do this work. I hit the ground running. I took it all, and I was able to do it, but mostly because I felt it was too easy. Now, that's one example of what imposter syndrome can look like. Another example is thinking, I'm in a job that's too hard. How am I ever going to learn and get up to speed quickly? So we want it to be temporary. We don't want it to be chronic and long-term feeling. And the more you can have open, honest conversations with the people around you who can give you a little bit of feedback so that you understand why you're there, and you're able to fill in the blanks so that your vulnerabilities don't overtake the way you're thinking about the work you're doing, the more likely you'll be to succeed, and also the more likely you'll be to put that feeling behind you. We've all been there. We all feel these things. Anytime we're in new situations, a little bit of insecurity, vulnerability, and sometimes imposter syndrome will show up. What we really want to do is move past it, accept it, let it wash over us, and then keep going forward, because you're going to end up learning your job. You're going to end up having wins and doing really well, creating great relationships, and then eventually you'll move. You'll transfer, you'll start your own business, you'll get promoted, and you'll start the cycle all over again. So then we have to ask, where am I feeling vulnerable again now? Where are things becoming too much for me now? I'm in a whole new situation. So where is this popping up? So once you have the framework down, take a step back, understand what the narrative is inside my head, develop my mindfulness, and then move forward with asking questions, using my authentic voice, being transparent, and making sure that everyone has clear understanding so that I can learn my job again and keep moving forward. So I hope this was helpful. I hope you enjoyed it. Hit the like, hit the subscribe, hit the bell so you can get notified, and stay tuned for more videos. Thanks so much for joining.